From a secret Ice Wizard tower in someone's base to a Clash of Clans gem hack that could actually steal your account. Here are 12 of the times that Clash of Clans unfortunately got hacked. If you're familiar with Clash of Clans attacks, you'd know only a certain amount of troops can be deployed in-game. But in 2015, a player by the name of Obidkhan would launch a battle where he'd have over 13,000 giants. Something is wrong here. A player actually managed to get a video of this raid, where the attacker places infinite giants, which, even while they're deploying, don't lower in number, meaning this player could have been deploying giants forever. And not only did he attack this base, but also this other base which suffered a similar fate. Poor guy. Clash of Clans gem generators have been around forever, but while many YouTubers have exposed these fake scams, new videos are always being posted advertising them. And this begs the question, are these gem generators actually harmful to players? Most players who use gem generators just get survey sites, but in rare cases, their accounts will get hacked and stolen. These gem generators don't directly hack Clash of Clans, but instead they ask you to log in with your Supercell ID and confirmation code, allowing them to steal your account and do whatever they want with it. Clash of Clans bases usually look like this, but this Clash of Clans base has a terrifying secret. Not only are these walls very weirdly placed, but there's also a gold mine outside of the actual base. There's literally no way something like this could have happened except through hacking. And this isn't even the only cursed base, with this one not even having a town hall. Even when you zoom out, you'll see there's no town hall in sight, meaning this Clash of Clans base is 100% hacked. And if you visit the builder base of this player too, you'll see it's the same deal. There's almost all of the major builders base structures, but no builders hall, making this base also hacked. But even these hacked bases aren't as weird as this one, which upon being raided, had these come out. Seriously? Lava pups and skeletons are not troops that are able to be donated and or created individually. So this player having these troops by themselves is one of the weirdest sightings in all of Clash of Clans. And while this might not have been a hacker's doing, it's certainly one of the craziest things ever seen in the game. While most players try to get their trophies higher, some players just try dropping as low as they can, with high-level town halls dropping as low as the Bronze League, and some players dropping to even 0 trophies. But what you haven't heard of is this player, with all max troops, who managed to drop to negative 336 trophies in the builder base, which isn't even possible by any stretch. First of all, you would have to lose every single game you played. And second of all, even if you lost every game, you'd never be able to fall below 0 trophies. So this player getting negative 336 trophies is either 100% a hacker, or this is a major bug in Clash of Clans. You decide. As you probably know, Clash of Clans had a glitch where you could automatically fill up your gems in loot carts. And basically, how it worked was that during a certain time period, if you bought gems, spent them, and then refreshed your game, your gems would refill, allowing you to upgrade every single base you had. The same applied to loot carts, where every time you claimed a loot from a loot cart, you'd be able to refresh your game and reclaim it. This obviously allowed players to max out their bases, meaning it may have been an intentional hack, allowing players to progress really far without ever having to spend too much money. Even though lots of players got lots of free stuff, Supercell never actually banned anyone who used this exploit, and instead fixed their servers, making sure something like this would never happen again. A few years ago, players who were on the top of the Clash of Clans leaderboards would experience a huge hack that would lose them hundreds of trophies. When players would attack bases, usually they'd be able to carry out the attacks and get a victory over the base. During a select period, players who started attacking bases would get an error out of sync message when they would start the game, and then the game would refresh. This hack made it so that some bases were impossible to attack, as once attacking, they would just freeze and lose trophies. Those players who had this hack on would become the #1 players globally, allowing their hack to keep them on the Clash of Clans leaderboards. Soon though, Supercell took note of this, and after a short maintenance break, were able to permanently put an end to cheating on the leaderboards. Thank God. In 2020, a YouTuber named Clash with Corey would encounter a cheater on Clash of Clans. After attacking a Town Hall 12 player called Hacker Is Back, Corey quickly noticed something wrong with the base that he was attacking, seeing an Inferno tower that seemingly had a sweeper and a Tesla inside of it. This is impossible, as in Clash of Clans, if you try putting one building on top of another, they just switch places, making this triple Inferno tower one of the weirdest things to ever be seen in the game. But that's not the only thing wrong with this base, as this player also has a builder hut merged with a sweeper on the left side of his base that also has a Tesla secretly tucked into it. This has gotta be hacked. The YouTuber who attacked the buildings would notice that the stacked buildings were actually playing out in game, making this something that could have been used for competitive advantage. If you still aren't convinced this guy is a hacker, take a look at his name again. I mean, seriously. This Town Hall 1 was found by Galadon Gaming, and while at first it looks like a somewhat regular player, a quick look at his profile will show you that this is no ordinary account. In fact, this account is completely hacked, with it being in a level 22 clan, something that's impossible at the Town Hall level 1. But that's not even as weird as this next Town Hall 1, which not only has no troops in their base, but also has 2 cannons, which is impossible. They also have 0 trophies, and the word hack is in their name, basically making them a 100% verified hacker, and they probably won't be around for too much longer. However, not all bases are like this where an account is confirmed hacked, as with this insanely lucky base containing goblin poles, which have almost never been seen in the game before. So, while this very well may have been a hacked account, it's also possible it was a developer account, or just a normal player lucky enough to get one of the rarest bases ever. Another base that could very well be hacked is this town hall filled with all presents. I mean, how do you even get this many? This base looks so impossible that just looking at it feels illegal, man. This is the Ice Wizard, a troop introduced to Clash of Clans years ago for a limited time. And while the Ice Wizard is a troop that was extremely cool, it was never added to the game permanently. But later on, a player managed to create a hacked client with a new Clash of Clans feature, the Ice Wizard Tower. This Ice Wizard Tower would be able to shoot troops and slow them down, making it an extremely effective building in battle. And while clients like this are in fact banned, Clash of Clans has actually considered bringing the Ice Wizard Tower into the game, maybe making this hack a bit more useful than it seemed. While Supercell has done a really good job preventing hackers in the game, it's a known fact that in 2014, a Syrian hacker was said to have hacked Clash of Clans' official Facebook page and personal database, gaining access to private information that only the Clash of Clans staff were supposed to know about. This hack not only endangered all of Clash of Clans, but also showed how the Clash of Clans security measures weren't as secure as they'd need to be. The hacker explained that their motivation behind the attack was to actually teach Supercell a lesson. Man, this hacker must have gotten raided tons of times to be that angry at Supercell. But anyway, the hacker, named Ethical Spectrum, mentioned trying to give Clash of Clans a warning after identifying a weak spot in their security before going on to hack them. Not only did he gain access to all of Clash of Clans' social medias, but also their personal account info, as well as how much money the company had made, which totaled up to over $5 million a day. Yeah, that's around how much Halo makes. But after this situation died down, Supercell ended up confirming that they were indeed hacked, and ended up tightening their security measures to ensure that nothing like this would happen again. If you're familiar with grass designs in this Clash of Clans builder's base, you'd know that once you place an obstacle, grass would grow around them, allowing players to create custom designs to make their bases look extra cool. However, while most players would do very simple designs, some players could create some super complex designs, spelling out words and creating weird patterns. And while these designs at first glance might look perfectly legitimate, once you realize how hard it is to create something like that, you kinda start to question if they're real. Clash of Clans ended up banning lots of players who had extremely customized grass designs, as a lot of them did seem impossible to do. While it's unconfirmed from Supercell if players who designed these grass patterns were actually hackers, it's safe to assume it's one of those things that got pretty sketchy at one point. Almost as sketchy as these. Okay, maybe not that sketchy. While mass troop hackers have almost never been spotted in Clash of Clans, another troop spamming hacker was found when spawning tons of lava hounds inside of a Clash of Clans game, something that should technically be impossible, but was done nonetheless. These lava hounds were spawned so ruthlessly and in so many numbers that the defending base pretty much had no chance of survival. And while the base would fight hard to survive, and the lava hounds did very little damage, the 100 lava hounds were enough to, after a very long time, wipe out the entire base, giving the hacker an unfairly won 3-star, and giving the defenders 0 chance of survival in the first place. But this wasn't the first time this kind of thing was seen, as the same player would later go on to spam 100 P.E.K.K.A.s, which would, after some time, go on to completely destroy the defending base. At least that was satisfying though.